Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's an early Sunday morning, but we just had to get after it. Extreme Rules was last night. The White Rabbit was finally revealed. We got a lot to talk about through the results of all the match, how the landscape of WWE is going to be changing over the next few months because of what happened last night. A lot of changes. We got our guest Zac back, another good addition to the podcast. He was busy with some wrestling stuff last night. Had a late night, but rebounded. And as always, with me, my co-host Teddy. This is the Hot Tag Podcast. Teddy, my man, how we doing?
I'm here. I'm chilling. I woke up this morning. I wasn't feeling too well yesterday, but this morning decided I was like, you know what? People want to see us. Let me get myself together here and come out and do the show. Guys, let's just I think let's start the show off with let's throw out our favorite matches from last night because I thought last night was a pretty solid night. I thought. Let's see what each one of us have to say about favorite matches. I think overall my favorite match was probably the first one with the Brawling Brutes, but I'm a little bit biased. But I have heard other people say they like that match the best too. So I don't know. What about you guys?
If I had to pick a favorite, it probably would be that match because I think the fight pit undersold a little bit, and there was a lot of screwy finishes that I think ruined some matches. So I'm gonna go with that. Brawling Brutes versus Imperium as well.
I think I would agree. I think it started off pretty good, and then I think the rest of it kind of just was okay. But side note, before I forget, thank you for having me back. As always, I believe this is the return that everybody's really going to be talking about this weekend. Is myself to the Hot Tag Podcast. So thank you for having me.
Move over, Wyndham Rotunda. Here comes Zac Chiera. All right, it's over.
That's really what they've been looking for. As always,
worldwide.
As always, thanks for coming back, Zac. We had a good time last time, and looking to have another good time this time. Yeah, to touch on that, of course, we're gonna get to it. The elephant in the room. Bray Wyatt returned last night, but we'll work our way up to it. That's definitely what we're gonna talk about, no doubt. We're gonna get to it, and we're gonna get to it really quick too. But I think that Braun Brutes match was pretty good. Other than there was a one spot that was there was two spots that I thought were but whatever. The match was still good overall.
Pete Dunne's flip was bad.
Yeah, Pete Dunne's flip was. They
sold that terribly.
It was Ludwig Kivich or whatever how you say his name.
Yeah.
He was his whole he was hitting him. He kept looking, then he looked, and then he turned around and put his arms on in front of everybody and stood there for a couple of seconds. And I was like, "What are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I don't think he realized how much time he had because you're right. It showed on the camera him visibly staring at Pete Dunne for a while. I'm like, those couple seconds seemed to last forever. And I'm sure he's going to watch that back a million times and be like, what the fuck was I doing? But other than that, I thought that was not great. But again, we talk about how the high flying is hit or miss. So that's
exactly.
That's one of those things. But I thought that match overall was really good. I thought it brought the intensity. And I texted you immediately after. I said Gunther didn't get pinned. Interesting. Even though he got blown to hell by Sheamus after the Irish cross through the table. He was done. But they beat the shit out of Vinci and pinned him. I thought that was interesting and good for the story.
Yeah. Zac, what are your feelings on it? One, give us your feelings on the spot where they stand there and where he stood there and watched Butch get ready to do the flip, because we all know that is your favorite part of the match, when people gather together outside of the ring waiting for someone to jump on them.
It's rough. When you feel kind of bad because you see them, especially like you said, when they take a little bit longer to go up, it feels like forever as they're standing there just watching them and hitting at each other, just waiting, or sometimes they got their arms out already, and it's just not good. But you try to just let it go and just enjoy the rest of it, but it's a little awkward.
Yeah.
But I like the match. I thought it was good. I like anything these guys do together, so it was a good way to start the show. Got me interested.
I think it was a great way to start the show. Now, my other point of that match, what I thought was funny, was Gunther got hit with the knee, I think, or something, and he laid there, and then he looked and was like, Yeah, like for Ludwig to like break up the pin, and then he eventually like
I
broke up
saw that
himself.
too.
He was
Yeah.
like, get over here. It was almost as bad as that, like Eddie Guerrero yelling for Vicky in
I
that ladder
mean,
match.
yeah. I mean, that wasn't great, but that was kind of like I bought that as like, oh, he caught Ludwig out of the corner of his eye, so he's like chilling there, knowing he's gonna break it up. I don't know, like that's how you could sell it to me, and like I'd be like, okay, whatever. But no, I have a problem with superstars or wrestlers looking at the official during the count anyway. Like, why are you doing that? The count is around the same cadence every time. After two, then okay, maybe look. But after one and a half, I'm starting to see people look. And I'm just like, that's not, like, to me, you're just laying there, like, trying to sell it. Like, obviously that's what they're doing, but they're not suspending my belief in that moment. And that's supposed
No,
to be a
yeah,
high pressure, like, oh, the match is swinging moment.
yeah, you got a good point. Not many people do, don't look. Like
I
Kurt
know.
Angle wasn't synonymous for it. He was like, I'm pretty sure there was times I actually got pinned, but the ref didn't call it. I threw my arm up just in enough time.
Yeah,
He's like, the ref knows the finish. You can, close your eyes. He's like, learn the cadence. The ref knows the finish. He's not
right.
gonna count the three. Like,
Exactly.
and so like, which I also think there's part of this also is like, we need some we need to get more seasoned refs in there who they get better at getting that near fall, because sometimes they stop well before like getting close to the mat. Like you need to get close to the mat and make it look like
Yeah.
you're really gonna hit it. Zach, Chad Patton, how long has he been around for?
Since I was a kid, I think. It's
Damn.
been
Yeah,
a long time.
he looks really different now, doesn't he, or something like that? He looks different to
There's
me.
there's a couple of them that I think have been around for a long time that are looking a little older, but yeah, I think he's been around since maybe I was like 9, 10 years old, something like
I
that.
thought I thought I heard Chad Patton's name again, and I was like, why do you look like you're new? Like I was like, I know the name Chad Patton, but why do you look like you're new? Like you look like, and then for me, I know that Chad Patton's been around a long time. I'm like, is that his son? Like I'm thinking maybe that's his son. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's his son's come in and he's got the same name, because like he doesn't he looks young. I mean he looks like he's new. And then we all obviously the blonde haired one, what's his name?
Charles Robinson.
Oh my God, I
Yeah,
don't know why that ran away from my head. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Charles.
But he's been around forever anyway. But yeah, all right. So going forward, so yeah, Braun and Bruce had a good match. Next was Liv and Ronda. Thoughts?
It wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty good. I liked how Ronda choked Liv the fuck out. And like realistically, some people were like questioning whether Ronda should have won or not. Like maybe the moment wasn't right, but honestly, how much longer could Liv Morgan have carried that title where we wouldn't have gotten completely and totally sick of her? It's like I get it. It was great. She was a good fighting champion. She had a couple good defenses. She beat Ronda twice. But fuck me, if she beats Ronda three times, what do? You make Liv look like a superstar, and then I don't know. I don't.
No,
It was
you're
time.
totally right there. You're totally right. To be the truth of the matter, the fact of the matter is, if you want her to keep the title, you don't have her face Ronda again. You actually let Ronda go away for some time because you suspended her. Then she came back right away, and like I don't know. At this point, her and Edge are just they go away for 2 weeks, and then they make their grand return. Like you don't make a grand return after 2 weeks. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, you don't have her go against Ronda because it's just not believable that she can beat Ronda. It's just not. Like, sure, have her beat the other people. Like you know what you do. If you want to make her like have a small championship reign, will it be great for ratings? Maybe not. But you do a Rocky 3 championship with her. Give her a bunch of lightweights and have her beat them. Like you build somebody up to make them look tough, and then all of a sudden, then Clubber Lang comes down the line later down the line. It just shows that she really wasn't that tough. It's what you do. Yeah, listen, we've done it so many times with people who were weak WWE champions. Like we've done it, they were weak WWE champions, but we made them look credible. For God's
The
sakes, like if
Miz.
Dolph Ziggler was a world champion,
The
like,
Miz.
yeah, the Miz, yeah. So like you can do it. You just gotta pad their championship a little bit.
That's the thing.
Uh,
I said it a few weeks ago, just to touch on Liv Morgan as a champion. She needed to turn heel and start winning crafty, divisively, and like being that opportunist in order to stay champion. And she they didn't do that with her character, so I think it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zach.
I thought it was all right. I liked the spots with like the baseball bat where she was really just beating the hell out of her. But that's kind of what I expected it to be. I mean, it would have been kind of silly for it to be a real even match because even like though I haven't obviously followed all of it, but from what I've seen, it looks like they still kind of hype her up as she has trouble beating anybody. So I feel like it would have been weird for her to go in and just have an even match with Ronda Rousey. So I'm glad that that little part's over, and we'll see where they go from here. And you know, hopefully, maybe like a character change can help her out in the future
I think
to
she
do some
Yeah.
better
needs
stuff.
I'm glad that that wasn't like an even match either. I'm glad it kind of looked like Ronda was beating her up, and then she would catch Ronda with something, but then Ronda would go back to beating her up. It's appropriate how it should have been. Guys, what do we think about this whole like she's kind of taking like a like how to take on herself, Liv Morgan? Do we think this is a possible? Maybe she's gonna work with Bray.
I don't know. Like I saw the look on her face, and it's very interesting. I see two potential paths for Liv Morgan, right? One is she does join Bray and become part of the faction, and that really helps her because being with Bray helps, a lot of people. Yeah, unless you're working against him, doesn't really help you that much. It kind of hurts you. But working with Bray has done really like Alexa had never been more interesting, right? Is my point than when she worked with Bray Wyatt. So I think she could do that, or I think realistically, what would be best for her career is to go back to NXT and do what Mandy Rose did, be a dominant women's champion down there and learn a lot down there, and then she can come back up and be legit. Because honestly, she won Money in the Bank, but I don't think many people can confidently say she was ready to hold the title for a long time. It just
No,
didn't show.
Shake, I think that's a great idea. Actually, sending her back down to NXT and let her build the ranks, come back as a dominant, more credible champion.
Yeah.
And now I think we're in a good state right now where we could say that you can go down to NXT, earn your badges, and come back and be a credible, contender.
Mandy Rose can do that right now.
Yeah. What are we thinking, Zach?
You kind of touched on pretty much exactly what I was going to say. I think NXT would be a good run. I think now that it's kind of going back to how it was before, that it's good for guys and girls to go back down and get some more experience. And anybody can use the help. Even like a bona fide main eventer like Veer Mahan is now back down in NXT, so it can help out even the best of them.
Yeah, Veer Mahan. Oh boy.
Yeah. All right. So
Can't hear you.
Sorry.
You're good.
Next match on the card, I believe, was. Give me 1 second.
I think it was
strap match.
Strap match.
I like the strap match. I thought it was brutal. I thought the straps were brutal. I personally, I'm torn. I like Kieran's character. I think he looks. Karrion Kross has a weird body shape to me. Like I think when you see him, he's like, I don't know. He's got a weird body shape to me. I think I liked him better with the outfit he was wearing in NXT, with the little gladiator strap.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but like Karrion, I would prefer. I don't know. I remember you saying you think this is beneficial, Scarlett helping him win, but like I'm supposed to also see him as like the way he presents himself when he comes in. He's just like he seems like a dominant person who doesn't need Scarlett that much to win.
Well, yeah, I hear what you mean, but like at the same time, it adds a layer to him, and I think it's the only way that he won last night without making Drew look weak. Like you literally had to use police grade pepper spray to beat Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It looked like they actually maced him too.
That didn't look. I thought at first like it was water, and when I saw it in slow mo, that was thicker than water. I don't know what they used.
So here's the reason I think it was actually mace or a light version of it. The one, it could have been they just been selling it the way they clean it out of his eyes, but the way his reaction and how they went to go clean it out of his eyes, and also Tyrion's reaction is what sold me that it was real because he almost got it in his eye. You could see him.
I saw that.
Yeah, because that's what Mace does. Like it gets on stuff, and then if you touch your eye or he went to pin him, like it spreads.
Yeah.
Like Mason, if it gets on your hands or anything like that, it comes close to your eye. You start feeling it. The smell of it starts burning your eyes. So like I was like, ooh, I think that actually might have been Mace, which really, really sucks because she nailed him with that.
Yeah.
She nailed the hell out of him with that. But I thought, you know what? And even if that is the case, Kyrian still looked strong during the match.
Right.
Because he had some solid points. And some solid battling. I like Kyrian Cross. I like the presentation of him. I like the whole Scarlet thing. Like he's charismatic. You know what? They have an eventual clash between him and Bray's got to be on the way somewhere.
That would be sick. I'd be all in on that. We can touch on all those things.
Yeah. Zach, what are we thinking?
Before I get into the match, so I was scrolling Facebook yesterday before the pay-per-view, and it listed out like the previous strap matches from Extreme Rules. Do you remember when Crime Time broke up and had a strap match at Extreme Rules as the payoff?
Oh,
because that was listed on there, and I was like, so they had some high standards to live up to. That was this was probably the match I was the most excited to see, and I was a little bit let down. I thought it was a little short and a little bit. I don't know, the crowd seemed a little dead for it, but it was okay. The pepper spray was a little random and kind of weird to me. So
yeah, I didn't mind Charlotte getting involved, but the pepper spray was too much for me.
I thought they should have probably tried the fireball again.
That's what I thought she would, come up with something like that. So when she pulled that pepper spray, I thought that was kind of a strange one, but
I feel like that's a Zelina Vega move.
Last time.
That's like a Zelina Vega move. I don't know. Like that's not.
Zelina Vega back in the action too. We can talk about that later. Zach, I think that's a great point. The pepper spray is like, I think they failed with the fireball like 2 weeks ago. I think it like missed, and so they didn't go for it again. Like I said, to me, what elevated this match was the brutality of the strap slap. Some of those were like really rough, and it was like woo. And I think that elevated, without the hard hitting slaps, like then I'm like, it's a. But I heard somebody else say that too on I forget what podcast it was. I think it was Cultaholic or anything. They're like, I think this show had a very high ceiling, and it was like it had a lot to live up to because of the way they sold, like the live up, like the storytelling behind these matches. And I think it was like very lofty goal. And I think it just fell a little bit short. And so, and that's the unfortunate thing about great storytelling. It's like sometimes you build it so big that your goal is so lofty that you can't reach it. You can't reach it. I think, who's honestly is one of my favorite people, but like I think AJ Styles is a victim to that a lot. He's been known for such a good wrestler that, sometimes he gets these matches and like the expectation is the moon. And he's like, he falls just short of it. Everybody's like, oh.
Like WrestleMania this year.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? I've been hearing a lot of criticism on Edge more of lately, too. And everybody's like, Edge, the tone of his matches. I think that was an unfair, expectation for his WrestleMania match. Because it's like, Edge hasn't really been putting on these amazing matches since he's come back.
Well, what about the greatest wrestling match ever he had with Randy Orton that wasn't even the best wrestling match that night? Like, I was like, damn.
Yeah, I think it's Edge is a little like, all right, so this is easy. We'll segue in because we're gonna obviously we have a lot to say about Edge.
If I may, real quick before I forget, I will say the one thing I did like about this match was, unlike the other strap matches, I hate when they have to touch all four corners to get the win. So when I saw him go for a pin, I was very happy that was the way that they went about it, because that takes me out of like those whole kind of matches. I think that's so silly that you could like have the guy dead. And then especially when they started adding those red and green lights so that you knew who touched what corner and all, I hate all that stuff. I'm glad they're back to just something like this. That part I did like.
They actually made a deal of that in the pre-show. Jerry Lawler was like, and it's not like the old days where you have to touch all four corners. You have to pin or submit your opponent. I was like, oh, thank God.
Lord. Let's just things have changed. Next match was Bianca and Bayley in the ladder match. Zach, what do you thought?
Yeah.
It was a little late, and I kind of started dozing off during this one. I don't know. It kind of was going a little bit downhill for me for the show, and then during this one, I was just like, man. And then I remembered like there's still a couple matches left. It's late. I'm like, yeah. So I may have hit the fast forward button just a little bit to help me get through this one.
Don't blame you. No, it wasn't bad.
The big takeaways for me on this was that brutal. We gotta stop doing these KODs with Bianca, where it takes her 2 minutes to get them ready for the KOD. Like that. First of all, the way Io Sky had to get on top, like
she climbed. There was no. She literally climbed on top for her, and I'm like, no.
The start to that was worse because she had Io Shirai. No, what was it? No, Dakota Kai on it. She grabbed her easily. Then Io Sky goes. It was there's a back bridge on top. Literally was like.
When I saw her climbing on the post, I was like, no. Yeah. I texted Teddy. I was like, I purposefully went on my phone so I didn't have to see that happen. Because I couldn't.
I texted him. I was like,
that was so bad.
Like, we got to stop doing this. Like, we get it. She's strong, whatever. First of all, her putting up two small individuals isn't that impressive anyway. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but like,
well, maybe not to you. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat. So I think, but
is she gonna get it? Is she gonna get it? 2 minutes later, is she gonna get it? Is she gonna get it? Like,
might.
like that was so rough. And then the next spot, like, everybody say this. Why did Bayley hold on to that ladder?
And not even try to swing. Like, I thought, like, Bayley was going to swing it down and hit Bianca and she was going to get out. Like, she just held on to it. Like, who in the fuck in their right mind, even if at first they're like, oh, I'm going to use it as a weapon, at some point you're like, I'm in a KOD. I need to get rid of this. It's going to drop it. And then during the whole move, you're like, yep, this is my safety net. And you're hugging the fucking lat. It was stupid. That was so... I thought Bianca should have lost. But that's besides the point. The way Bayley lost, stupid. You just built Bayley up for 2 months to have her lose because she was hugging a ladder during a KOD is fucking dumb. I thought Bayley and Damage Control should have taken over the locker room for a little while. Bianca comes storming back and wins the title again and then goes on a run towards Mania. Would have made so much more sense. Now, I'm sick and tired of Bianca because we're getting into Super Cena territory. And I'm sorry, Bianca's great, but they're booking her wrong.
Oh, I thought you would love a Super Cena run.
Listen, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not buying that anymore. As a kid, I thought it was great. He's literally my fucking, like, he's Superman. But I'm 27. Like, I think she needed to lose. And I think it would have made her so much more interesting. Because she wouldn't have lost clean. Damage Control got involved.
Yeah. To me, that was very odd. I thought Bayley should have won as well, and I thought it would have been great for the tag championships because what have we done with the tag championships since they won it?
Nothing.
Yeah,
you threw another half-assed tag team at him, Adam.
Who were the tag team champions?
Oh, Dakota Kai and Io Sky.
Before that, I think he means was Aaliyah and
when
Raquel.
Did they win those?
They won them from Raquel and Aaliyah.
And
what happened to Aaliyah?
She got injured, I think.
Okay.
Not that anyone cares.
Zach's like, and who are they?
I don't. Somehow all of this is just gone from my memory. I don't know how.
It would have looked good if they had all the belts, as what they should have done. I don't know why. No, you made Bayley look really weak.
Yes, like, you did.
You made Damage Control look really weak. Bianca took out all of Damage Control herself. No assistance, just took out the tag champions, and then took out Bayley. What happened? I just don't know. I don't know what happened there. I'm not understanding of what the decision was there. I thought, and now so this is my ADHD mind, and I was like, I thought this would have been a good time because Bianca's really been grinding for a while for her to kind of go away and
Yeah.
take some time off. I was like, Montez is hurt, like they both could have went on and did some family stuff. And I was like, then I go, I wonder what. So those aren't her kids; those are Montez's kids. I wonder what her relationship with his kids. I was like, huh. They call her mom. Do they have mom? Like what's the deal with her? I started going through all of that in my mind, and it was like,
Damn, that's what that
And then the
match
whole
did to
time you were thinking of that, all that time it took you to think of that was how long it took Io Sky to get up on the back of Bianca Belair. So you had plenty of time to kill.
that's exactly what. And then I was in my head going, I came back and go, they're still not up there.
It goes to the point. I would have, like I said, I texted Teddy last night. I would have much rather seen Bianca put Bailey through a fucking ladder with a KOD or onto a ladder that was on the ground. There was no ladder that was propped up ringside. Bailey could have went through that. That would have been dangerous. That would have been Jeff Hardy level. No way Bailey would have done that at this point in her career.
Because the way it was propped up, it could have, like, when you landed, you could have hit the steps or the barricade, so it could have been. But Bailey did a vicious elbow drop to Bianca there, but the way the camera angle is, like, after the replay, I was like, did she hit her or did she miss?
No, she hit her with the elbow, but definitely did more damage to herself.
That's what it looked like, and I was like, ooh.
The commentary mentioned that. They're like, I don't know who got the worst of that. Bailey hit her ribs, like arm and hip, all on the ladder.
Yeah.
Like Bianca ate the elbow, but.
So yeah, I think we're all in agreement that Bailey should have won. It would have done a lot for damage control. Kind of hurt them that she lost.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that they interfered and she still lost, and they all got humiliated.
Like
maybe they're saving Bailey to win for a bigger pay-per-view. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But you know what? You're right. Bianca had a John Cena moment where she just crushed a faction. Yep. As John Cena did quite many times in his career, just destroying factions. Crushed a faction. Which I'm really surprised that Hunter let go. But hey, whatever. Maybe, I believe in him. Maybe he's got better plans. Maybe he's going to redeem himself. Nothing that races lost is like a win. Winning will always put you back on top. Let's just hope, it comes around. Next match. Finn Balor versus Edge. I didn't understand the mask that Finn had when he entered, but I do like. I like his fake out. Like, he keeps faking everybody out. He goes down and then he's like, no, you thought I was gonna come up.
And then he just stands up.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's hilarious and it's like plays with the crowd. I think Finn had a strong showing during this match.
I thought the match was good overall. I thought from start to finish it was entertaining. I don't think Edge was that great, but I thought Finn looked really good. I liked when the Judgment Day got involved. Loved Beth Phoenix getting involved. And I love that she is the reason Edge lost. Because you said it. You're like, I don't see Edge losing because that's just not what happens. But you throw Beth into the mix, and she's about to get concertoed, and he's like, the only way I can save her is to say I quit. And then Rhea does it fucking anyway.
Okay.
Well done. That booking, I think, saved a couple of bad decisions. Like, that was really good. And I am begging and hoping that y'all get to see Rhea versus Beth at WrestleMania.
I texted you that last night. So here's the thing. As soon as Rhea handcuffed Edge, which is the best handcuff job I've seen ever in WWE. Normally when you see the handcuffs, they're like it's like a minute. It's like literally takes them like 30 seconds to handcuff somebody to something. Every time you see it in there, you're just like, at any time, this person could have punched you in the face instead of just going, Rhea did it. It was quick. It was fast. It was like, all right, that's believable that she got it.
She practiced.
Kudos to Rhea.
Man.
I texted, so I thought Finn looked strong through this whole match, which I'm very happy. I thought he looked very strong. I texted Shake last time was like, yeah, I'm sick of Edge because when Rhea took and didn't throw the key, I was like, because she's not throwing the key, I know he's gonna get away. The fact that she didn't throw this key, that means they're gonna get the key back, they're gonna unlock it and everything like that. I knew it. And then they unlocked it, and then it looked like Edge was gonna win, and then I was just like, I'm so sick of Edge. And then all of a sudden, um, he didn't win. They came back and they ended up beating the guys up. And like I was really happy. And then like you had Rhea and Beth stare down for the second time, and then she was like Beth was like very excited, and I was like, she's like I think she was a little too excited, and I was like, you're supposed to be angry, not shouting. This is the dream match, and I was like, I don't know, you kind of, it's for me. I may be a little nitpicky, kind of like puked it down a little bit for me. I'm still very excited for it, but I was like, you should have just been like, I dare you, like just threatening her, like don't touch my husband, like instead of going, this is what they want. But yes, I said, I think they're gonna build this up towards WrestleMania, which would be really smart. But then I also thought today maybe we get some type of a tag match, like an Edge, Ray and Beth versus Damian, Dominic, and Rhea.
And then you want to have Finn versus AJ separately.
That's what that's where my heart goes. That's where my heart goes.
I think
but that made
we're going there.
not,
yeah.
Huh?
Seems like we're headed there.
Yeah, I that could be it. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, I thought it was a solid finish. I texted Shay because he had predicted this weeks ago that that's how we're gonna get Edge to win. We thought it was more of a Ray thing, which I love how Ray was down for the count for the rest of the match. Like he just didn't get back up.
And then all of a sudden at the end, he's fully coherent and can help Beth. I thought that was funny.
I was like, yeah, he went down like a rat.
Yeah, and then was like popping up and sprinted back in the ring. I'm like, bullshit. Bullshit.
All right, Zach. I feel like we always get to you at the end. It's like
no, that's fine because all right now you can't be mad at me, but I started to watch this match. I got to where the entrance was. I saw the weird mask, and then I was like, I wonder how long this was. So I didn't see who won, but I looked it up, online to see how long, and I saw it was a half-hour long match. And I thought, oh fuck, I can't do it. Not another half-hour long Edge match. And I may have put it aside and forgot to watch it this morning. I did see how it ended. I saw the thing with Beth and all, which I thought was cool. But I don't know if I really want to see more of this up until WrestleMania. I think not that I'm sick of it. I like that they're still doing little things to change it here and there, but I don't know if I can fit through this feud for another 5 months or however long.
That's what I thought too. To be honest, yeah, I was like,
maybe like a Survivor Series payoff could be okay. Like you said, the multi-man match or something like that, and then maybe they could still do more with AJ and Finn down the line. But the whole thing with just there's only so many weeks you can see Rey Mysterio get beat up. And, I don't know.
Edge make a return.
But these matches, Edge's matches are just so long, and I think they've always been like that since I was a kid. So it's always something that but nowadays it's not really the same. Like we had the WrestleMania one, we had this one. The one that I always think of is the one with the COVID WrestleMania where it seemed like it went on for 3.5 hours.
That was like an hour match, no lie. It was like an hour match between him and Randy. That was brutal.
So this was probably the match I was least looking forward to seeing anyway. So
that last man standing match. Oh, that was horrible. Oh man.
It was. Well, you know what? This match is getting.
And then that backlash match that followed up was not good, also.
Yeah.
And I love Edge. Like I've always been such a big fan of his, but just lately the matches that they're putting together, like just this feud alone, I don't really like. I don't know. They're trying, but it's not for me. I don't think.
No. This match had got some criticism. They said it was good, but it was long. They're like, you felt it was long.
Yeah.
Online, people were saying it was like it was long. It was a good match, but it was long. They were like, it was another long Edge match, and it was like, it was like. What I will say about these matches, I don't think, I don't think that Backlash match was bad, Jake, but I do think that WrestleMania and the Last Man Standing match.
Well, it was better, because of the reference point. Think of month to month. The Backlash match was better, but what killed it for me was they billed it as the greatest wrestling match of all time, which it was not even fucking close to.
Yeah,
and they had them hitting random finishers like a rock bottom or like a stunner or things like that, and then acting like that was going to be the end of the match, and they were like, "We've hit him with every finishing move." Like it was kind of weird. I didn't like that one, but
Yeah.
I do feel bad that Edge had to watch his wife get beat up. I don't think for the first time. I think that's happened before, maybe if I remember. But if it's sad that Rey Mysterio too came out to help and just kind of was kicked to the side, but maybe next time if he comes out with some pepper spray, he won't have this kind of an issue.
He needs to be better prepared, and I think that's fully on Ray. Listen, he's consistently getting clotheslined by his best friends or people that are very close to him. It's like it's 80% on Rey Mysterio at this point. Like, what the fuck, man? Jesus.
It's got to be hard to see it coming because he's only got the one good eye.
Because he's got a glass eye because Seth Rollins took it out a year ago at Extreme Rules Horror Show. And that's exactly what it was a goddamn horror show. It was terrible.
Modern technology has really improved. The fact that we could reinsert his eye and he can see clearly now, it's just like...
It's a miracle of God, really.
Thank you, Jesus.
But yeah, Edge matches, we're all on the same opinion. Edge matches. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next match.
Bye, Pat.
Daniel Cormier has put on some weight.
That was the first thing I noticed. I said, God damn. Don't get me wrong. Athletes, as they get older, they obviously put on weight. But Jesus fucking Christ, Cormier put on weight.
I was like,
don't beat my ass if you see this, DC. Because, let's not get it twisted. I'm not saying I could take you because in seconds I'd be done. But it is what it is.
We're not body shaming. Well, at least I'm not. Exactly. I don't know about Shake over there.
hey, he's in shape. Round is a shape, okay?
He was. You know what I think it is? I also think maybe we've never seen him with a shirt tucked in, like a fitted shirt tucked in with the pants. Like he was.
But we saw him shirtless in his prime, and that was shocking.
Yeah, I was like, oh hey DC, you gained some weight. I was like, I could have sworn you've been training though. So
that's the thing. It's like usually people do something and stay active, but like
he has a whole gym, and he's a coach too. He's a wrestling coach.
But he was huge back when he won the Strikeforce title, back when he first came around when he was undefeated, and he was a big dude, and that's why I think so many people were shocked when he was cutting down to light heavyweight.
Yeah.
But he made it work. But he seems like he's back up towards that size now. Which hey, he's not fighting anymore, so
so
I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, Zach, what were your impressions when you see him?
I love that he walked out with a giant smile on his face, like he won some kind of contest to be there or something. But
like a Kurt Angle smile.
I was a little bit bummed because I kind of wanted it to be like Ken Shamrock as the manager, and I saw he had asked about coming back to WWE.
Yeah.
So when they announced the fight pit, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Maybe that's his way in. And then when they put DC on and they did that weird like at home interview that he mailed in, I thought that was a little disappointing when he was just like, hey folks, I heard you need a ref and it's gonna be this guy. And it's like, oh, all right, because he's not really like an intimidating. And they try to say that one of the baddest men on the planet as he's coming out and hugging kids and like all excited. And,
who was it? They should have got. I feel like there was other UFC guys they could have gotten.
You know what would have been funny? Well, I had heard other people say they wish it was King Shamrock. I've been killed for it, but what's his name? Nate Diaz.
I would like Rampage Jackson in there. Imagine him fucking those guys up if they touched him. I liked that part of it where he was like, "Don't fucking touch me."
Yeah.
Do you remember when Rampage was on Raw when they did the guest host spots and they did when he was in the A-Team movie?
Yeah.
And Roddy Piper, that was when they handcuffed him to the ring and he ripped it off the ropes and all that. So he's due for an appearance.
That's what I need. I would have rather see Rampage fuck Seth Rollins up and pin him on the cage. That was lit.
How was that A-Team remake?
Not bad, but it didn't get him much other work, so he could use a spot on Raw if they're looking. But one last thing, and then I'll let you guys go. But they didn't really touch much else on it. DC was coming back, I don't think, right? Have they mentioned that if he's doing anything else?
I
Because I
don't.
know what you're thinking. You're hoping that we don't see the Brock Lesnar DC match
No,
at
because
Saudi.
yeah, when they first announced he was coming, and then people started, because I remember watching the pay-per-view when Brock came out and shoved him. And I didn't really even want to see that fight, and I think it would be an even worse match. So I don't know if that's something I want to see. But as soon as I thought of it, I was like, oh, that's a Saudi match if I ever seen one. So
You're not wrong, because I've seen pictures of those two like squaring up when they had that clash on the internet. I've been seeing it, and I'm like,
um, yeah. So that match was. I think the match was okay. I expected more out of the match. Like I don't know. I just expected more of the match.
I did
I'm actually
too.
very surprised at the finish.
I thought, yeah, I didn't think Riddle was gonna win that at all. I was very shocked he won. It seemed like Seth was gonna, but then again, at the same time, I guess it kind of sets Rollins up for a legitimate feud with Lashley. Now I don't know. I guess in that sense it makes sense, but like it seemed for sure like Riddle was gonna start winning again, and he was gonna assert himself in the fight pit, a match that he's never been in before, beating Riddle, who had been in one before. But like I don't. I thought that undersold. The pedigree on top of the pit was cool, but then Michael Cole calling the Broton the floating bro, like it soiled it for me because all I could think about is, fuck, a floating bro would have been so much cooler than a Broton. But like I don't know. Like I thought it consistently undersold. It was cool, but I think the underselling was a theme on purpose to set up what happened at the end, which like I don't want to talk about yet because let's tease it, but everybody knows what happened unless they live under a rock. But yeah, Teddy, what did you think of the fight pit?
It was there.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it was there. Like I think well, because you see, the video packages were cooler than the damn match.
yeah, the video packages were sick. I thought it was gonna be a banger, but it wasn't, and it was the main event.
Like, how don't you throw somebody off that thing?
That
Also, I was now. I always thought that it was like a padding on the floor from because
it
when you look
used
at
to be.
it was a padding. I thought so. It was like a
Back
padding.
when they did it back in like the 90s, it was next to the stage, and they just put like the padding on the floor, and then they like built the cage around it, and the two guys would wrestle in the pit, like pretty much. But
But
then
did
they kind of
NXT
moved
do a
it.
padding it too? Because like it showed. I think I thought I seen in the video package it was like black padding on the mat for the NXT, or is it just their ring bottom was black?
I
their
think it was the ring.
canvas was black at the time.
Okay, but even then, they were throwing people off of it, so I was just like,
Oh, I know.
like,
And Riddle hit a floating bro off of it in the video package. I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah,
I mean, that's
yeah.
probably an age and a danger thing.
I'll tell you what,
but
that bro Derek looked like it hurt. It looked like he landed right on his ass. I was, ooh,
he screamed. Like, he didn't
yeah,
sell that. I think that really fucking. He did land straight on his ass.
yeah.
Like, I definitely think he got the worst of that.
That reminds me of that. When Bruce when he hit his shoulder on the post, I thought he was really hurt for a second, and then I think like Karrion was confused too because he was like, he didn't hit him while the ref looked at him. He was like, all right.
Yeah, he was like standing there, like, are we going? No, I think she asked him if he wanted to keep going because I think he did fuck up his shoulder.
He did. And he was like, "No, damn it, yeah, I'm going." But like, they normally ask that anyway, even if he's not really hurt. So I wasn't. But like, he definitely. I don't know. I don't know if he got hurt or not. Like, we'll see what happens.
Because, well, think about lately they've had the benefit of that like LED cone, and that's a lot less to hit than a fucking steel ring post. And I think Karrion like because on Friday he did the same thing, so I think Karrion might have like overdone it on by accident, like not thinking, and the moment got the best of him. And he pulled through a little harder than he meant to, because he fucking, you heard it, he whacked that. That was, I was like, oh
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. You know what? I just thought about Zach again. You saying DC coming out smiling. Like, I jumped back to that. I thought about that. It's just like he reminds me of Kurt Angle when Kurt Angle was part of the Shield. For it's like, hey guys, I'm here. Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for having me. Not this very intimidating, but all right. Moment of truth, guys. We're here, Bray Wyatt. That was the most entertaining thing I've I've seen in a long time that comeback. It was so entertaining. It's not even funny. I had texted Shake and said, "Ooh, this shit is definitely scaring kids because it's scaring me." I was like, it scared me. Like the video, like when it was going out and buzzing in and out. It was great. I thought it was great. So I'll have. It's not even a critique. It may sound like it, but it's not. I loved every bit of it. I just felt like, man, I really wish we seen him like just attack somebody, like do that whole thing and then come out like and beat up somebody. Someone just stand there. Like I felt like they'd just like been like, yeah, like or not even attack someone. Like what if Alexa was just in the ring and he was just like and he was coming back for her and she was scared as hell. Like just somebody in the ring to feel scared, and us just going like which you don't get me wrong. To me, that's just what I would have liked to add, but I thought it was phenomenal. I thought it was well executed. I was hyped. I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is such good writing. This is just great storytelling. Like, and then when the Fiend was in the front row and everybody was like, did you hear the pop that everybody
Oh
was
my
like,
God, yeah.
yeah, and then when like they're like, oh, that's not him. Oh, that's not him. I thought it was great. And I guess my only reason why I would add something is because I don't know where you go from there. Like I don't know where you go from there afterwards. You just have him pop up on Raw and like, hey, like come in. Like what do you do after that? Like we don't know any direction. We just know he's back.
That I think was the point. But I want to go last. So, Zach, you're wearing the
Um,
appropriate hoodie.
yes, I try my best to be, fully prepared for my
Yeah, I got the
appearance.
RK Bro shirt. We're good.
Um, I'm gonna get into it, but before I forget, because I'm very late on this one, but it just popped in my head. But in the Ronda Liv match, do you remember the part where she goes to put the chair up and it falls?
As we know in
And
WWE, furniture does not cooperate. Thank you,
but
Corey fucking Graves. He said that twice.
then she messed up the move after. Then instead of just forgetting about it, she still went for it, kicked her into the post, and then they even said on commentary, and you got to think it'd be much more effective if the chair was still there. And I was just like, why? Why did they go through with it? It was so weird. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I forgot all about it, and I had to bring that up because I just thought that was ridiculous. But um, so I thought this was awesome. I loved every bit of it, and I actually liked that he came out just on his own because that's kind of like I think, like you said, that's kind of the point. Like now, why is he here? What is he doing? I like the new mask. It looks like I don't know if either of you saw Black Phone that came
Yeah,
out
that's what I thought.
summer. It looks
That's
like that.
exactly
I
what
thought
I
that was
thought.
so cool.
I thought it was like
Um,
a Guy Fawkes thing. That's what I was getting.
it was awesome, and I like.
Yeah.
I don't know if it had any connection to it or if it's just me going out on a limb, but when the door busted open and it had the blue light and the blue smoke, it reminded me of when Brody Lee made his AEW debut when he's walking down the hallway. If you watch that promo, and he's got the same kind of looking stuff, so I thought that was a cool little touch. But
I'm sure it was.
I
I
thought I
think
heard that they
this.
did a callback to him. I thought I heard that they did a callback to Brody Lee. Well, he was honoring him
hopefully.
as well. Yeah.
I just thought it was really cool, and it makes me excited to watch Raw now Monday because now I don't know why he's there, and I don't know who he's going to go after, or if he's going to SmackDown. I don't know if it's going
Yeah.
to be either one. But I actually didn't even think we were going to see him last night. I thought it was just going to be another big teaser, and they might save him for the Saudi show because that's supposed to be this big thing. So I was very glad that he just popped up at the end, and they gave him a whole segment at the end instead of like just a quick one-off thing. So.
You know what's funny? You say that, Zach. I almost thought we weren't going to get it either because it looked like the show was going off the air. They had the little screen, the thing at the bottom that said Extreme Rules. I was like, oh shit! As a people about to be pissed.
Yeah.
We're going off air. But no, I thought it reminded me a lot of Black Phone as well, especially when they had the picture of him with his back turned and you could see the thing and like the mask to me it really resembled Black Phone and I was like he's a very creative and horror movie guy. I think kind of that's maybe what he's going with it. Um, it would kind of make sense if you think about it, like just all the stuff he's done in the past with the cult following and the Fiend and the kids watching, and like maybe he's doing a parody of this. I don't know, but listening to you two, I guess I see what you're saying. It makes you want to watch it on Monday, where I'm just like, I want to know what's he doing, what's going on. But we're gonna leave it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Shake.
I was convinced to a T that Bray Wyatt was coming back last night, and there was nothing you could have said short of Wyndham Rotunda is dead that would have convinced me he wasn't showing up last night. All signs pointed to Extreme Rules. The build-up was amazing. The way they did it was amazing. And, like, Triple H throwing out that last minute, it's not who you think it is. And I think that's a point to that it's not a Bray Wyatt we've seen before. This is a completely new person. And I think that's what he meant. I think people thought Triple H was trying to say it's a different person like Malachi Black or like Karrion Kross as the White Rabbit or something like that, alluding to it was that. But I think the truth of the matter is he's alluding to this is a different character than we've ever seen before. And I think the mask he wore also alludes to that. But I thought it was perfect from the beginning. Like you said, they said we're going off the air. Then all of a sudden, Michael Cole's like, "What? Are we off the air? What the hell?" Like, and then there's the Bray Wyatt, the burnt fiend mask on the announce table. Then there was all the Firefly Funhouse characters. I can't believe I got through all those Fs. Yeah. Anyway, it was, to me, that was like a ceremonial passing of everything Bray Wyatt was. Goodbye to the Eater of Worlds. That was, we got the whole world in his hand song was playing the whole time. You had all the characters that were there throughout the Arena of the Buzzard, whatever. And then the Fiend was in the front row. And they flashed him, and that was the last you saw of it. And then the TV package was the Firefly Funhouse, but all those characters were dead. Sister Abigail was dead, the pig was dead, the buzzard was dead, the white rabbit was dead, and there was cobwebs all over everything. And then you see on the TV in the Funhouse the new mask, Bray Wyatt saying whatever. I couldn't really hear. It was all chopped up and whatever. It was creepy as hell. They did an amazing job. The mask was great. And I think him pulling off the mask, blowing out the lantern, chef's kiss. Because you're like, what the fuck's happening? I need to watch now. And I don't know that we'll see him again on Monday. I think Zach made a good point. Does he show up on SmackDown? I think we get a teaser on Monday and something happens on Friday. Because how good would it be if we're waiting the entire show on Monday for him to show up and then we get a teaser at the end? Nothing. Just a little glimpse. Even another QR code. And you're like, oh, fuck. That would keep us on the edge of our seats the entire time. And I think all the questions and all the worries of can Bray Wyatt be worked with in a different way and make people successful and bill him the way he should be and make him successful along with others, I think we're going to finally get solutions to that. Because it seems to me that that was the death of all that bullshit. And it was the reincarnation of Bray Wyatt, possibly even going as Wyndham Rotunda, because his name on Twitter is still Wyndham6. What?
I said, I think Wyndham is a scary name to begin with.
It is, man.
Wyndham is a better name. No, yeah, you got a good point. You got a very good point. Oh, interesting. Who's going to be part of this faction? Is he going to be by himself? What are we going to do with him? Who's he going to feud with? What show is he going to be on? There's the possibilities. It just makes you excited to see what we got. Man, is it?
So now I got a question for you, Teddy. And I'll throw it out to Zach. I'll start with Zach. Zach, are you excited for Bray Wyatt's return in WWE?
Absolutely. I hope things go a little bit differently this time. I don't want it to be like, it's hard with somebody like him where you have all this good build up and good promos and good angles, and then they just have him lose so much before. So we're like anytime something started going, they would just kind of end it. And he kept losing and losing and losing. Even with the Fiend, like they had it built up for all that time, and then they had that horrible Hell in the Cell match, and then he won the title and then lost to Goldberg. So it was just kind of like, it's always been so start and stop. So hopefully, as long as it stays on track, don't rush to anything. Don't, just kind of keep him in a good spot for a little while, let him build himself back up, I think they're going to have nothing but success with him. I'm
So-
very glad to see him back.
Yeah. So, Teddy, you mentioned last week that you would catch some strays. You weren't excited pretty much at all for his return. After last night, and the door is now open, are you excited for him to come back now?
Yeah, but I'm worried. Like I said, like 'cause he has such a. You really have to treat him right now. And then, in my opinion, you treat him right, and then if you treat him right and do right by him, what does that mean for others around? You have to carry that. Like so, for so much what we're seeing in the past is either he's burying someone or he's getting buried. And so it's like how based off what they've done with him. So I'm worried about see what happens. I just my goal, like my idea, right, feud right now is eventually I was like I'd love to see him and Karrion do something. I think that'd be really cool. Then I'm like, oh, but Karrion's still new in, Fiend's back. How do you get these guys going at it without someone losing and looking weaker? I don't know. I also want to see him in a faction. I want to see him run a faction because I think there's some people who are floating around that kind of need some direction. Plus, WWE is looking like a faction industry right now. There's a ton of factions. We just seen Legado
Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, they just made their debut. Like I love it. I actually said the other night I was like I love the WWE right now. Like man, I love it so much right now to the point where it's like I loved it just as much as I love the Ruthless Aggression era with the amount of different directions you can take right now. So I am excited, but I'm approaching with caution because I don't know where we're gonna go with him.
That's
the margin of error is small that you can make with him. So it's like you don't want to mess up. Guys, Does anyone else have anything to say about the Fiend? We can keep talking about, but there was something I wanted to mention that got brought up yesterday that I wanted to show.
Go for it.
We got our logo for WrestleMania 40.
Ooh.
It's blue.
No, it is not. And let it.
Not.
It's gold, right?
It's gonna.
Oh, for 40. I like that.
I might just send it to you guys. I was like, it doesn't look like
I can't see a damn thing. I thought it was blue.
I can't make out the colors, but I could see the whole.
It's gray and green.
Oh, the Eagles. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's the Eagles color because it's yeah. It just they showed it at the end of the night last night.
Oh, how great were the Miz and Gritty segments, by the way? I love that. I'm a hockey fan and I love Gritty. I was a huge fan. I thought they did a great job. I also now want that Extreme Rules t-shirt with Gritty on the ladder. I now need that.
That seems like something Zach would get. It's
funny, like my cousin and his girlfriend love Gritty and love the team, and they messaged me and goes, "Oh, he sent me the picture or whatever," and he was like, "Oh, I saw that Gritty was on your wrestling thing," and I sent him back the video of Gritty getting punched in the stomach and thrown to the ground, and he was like, "Oh, well, okay."
Did you show him the video of Gritty kicking the Miz?
No, I didn't see that. I only saw him and then Miz beat him up and then getting choked out.
Yeah, and then after that, Miz started getting up and Gritty kicked him in the stomach.
I really hope that Loomis joins the Fiend. I think that'd be appropriate because I just don't know what to do with it. I don't know what you do with Loomis if you don't have him join the Fiend and just be one of Fiend's minions. Zach, you look like that's something that you would like.
I kind of like him the way he is by himself. I don't know if I want to see a whole faction just yet. I think I don't know. Maybe don't rush into that just yet. And plus, Loomis hasn't really even had a match to be off on his own yet. They're still really pushing this thing, which I thought they were going to have a match tonight, but nothing got announced. So I hope that's not a.
I don't know why the Miz would want a match. He just keeps getting beat up. Like there's David, what do you think's going to happen in the match? Like he's beating you up. Most of the time, he's not even really sneaking up on you. So then you're trying to run, and he's like, "Come here." It's like you and a bully. After all that, you're like, "Oh, come on, do you guys want the fair fight with the bully?"
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are. For one, I think that WrestleMania 40 sign is pretty dope.
Did you send it?
No, I didn't send it to you guys.
You motherfucker.
Let me get a.
'Cause I definitely want to go to 40.
Before you move on to the next topic, can I get you guys' opinion on something? Since
No, you can't.
so
What's up?
I went to as you know, I went to Impact last night. I went to the taping and they had a tag team match. And you know the spot where the ref doesn't see the tag and you gotta get back out and see it. They do a spot last night that I hate. I've seen WWE do it a bunch of times in AEW now. When the ref's got his back turned, the guys switch out of the ring and they go and they do the clap to make it sound like they hit the tag,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the ref lets that go. And I think that is one of the stupidest things because he didn't see it. Now he didn't see the he lets the heels do it, obviously.
Right.
If the face was to do that, he didn't see it with his own eyes. I was like, I gotta ask him about this because it bugged me the whole match. And I was like, it's such a stupid thing to be bothered about, but it's just so ridiculous.
You're right. It is ridiculous, but it's one of those kayfabe things that I think is funny, so I let go. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh,
That's the thing. It's like one of those things. It's like, it's pro wrestling, You gotta, there's some ridiculous shit you just gotta laugh at and roll with.
Oh,
I get pissed off
Zac.
about some dumb shit too, though. Not even gonna act like I'm the fucking moral high ground here.
You guys know I'm picky about stuff, so.
You might be one of the more nitpicky wrestling fans I know.
Oh, yeah.
In a good way.
I'm not offended. It is what it is. I'm not offended. Like I said, I had mentioned this a while ago, and I texted Zach and I said I think they're laying the grounds for it. So, Logan Paul has taken fire at Bad Bunny.
Yes. Okay, so you fucking bring this up. And of course, my fucking roommate Amy comes in bitching about Logan Paul. And I was like, I think it might be a shoot. And she's like, he's blaming him for tax evasion over WWE. I'm like, yeah. I don't think he's actually evading his taxes. And I also think you're looking way too deep into this.
Well, that right there, the world is already interested. It's doing its job. He's very good at his job. I think, listen, if I could book the match, Logan Paul, Bad Bunny, special guest referee, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Sells itself.
I don't even think you need a special referee. I mean, it would be good, but I don't know if Stone Cold would fit that match, though.
I think it's just more star power to the match.
I agree,
I think that's all it is. This match is supposed to be a grand spectacle anyway. It's supposed to not be bad. That's no one. And I think Stone Cold would be good because he can help coach them through the match. Because
that's fair. Yeah,
I don't think either one of them should be in a ring by themselves running a match without someone there kind of coaching them yet. So I think that's why I put Stone Cold in there, just because one, he's mega star power. All right, you say you don't need it, but literally just look at this. You hear Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul, guest referee Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're like, what? No, I watch this shit. This is crazy. Who's not? And Stone Cold's at WrestleMania. Boom, whatever. We hear the glass shatter. Everybody's huge. Did you see Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul? Biggest heel in the world versus possibly the biggest baby face in the world right now. Him and The Rock go back and forth to the most popular people in the world right now. Once, like I said, Stone Cold can coach them through the match, in spots. Pass on information to them. I think Stone Cold, you need somebody in there to kind of help them guide that match.
Yeah, that's fair.
Zach, what are your thoughts?
I don't really have a way to get interested in either Paul brother at the moment. I mean, his matches are fine, but I don't really care to see the Saudi show. I don't really care to see his brother fight Anderson Silva. And even if you put Bad Bunny in there, that's not really making me jump to the,
That's fair.
It's gonna be something. It's definitely, like you said, it's definitely something where people scrolling the internet would think, did you hear that Logan Paul is gonna wrestle Bad Bunny at WrestleMania? And it's so ridiculous that it's something that people and obviously I would watch it, if it was on TV, but
we'll be there if it's at WrestleMania.
It's just not something that I'm like, oh my god, I gotta see if Logan Paul can beat Bad Bunny.
I gotta see if Bad Bunny can beat Logan Paul. That's what I want to see.
That's it. That's what you gotta see. If Bad Bunny can beat Logan Paul. Well, here's the thing. the reason I'm not interested in either Paul brother either, but I think it's good storytelling. So you have the two guys, the two outstanding celebrity athletes who have had matches. So it's like, all right, these guys, these are the most outstanding ones we had. Let's see them wrestle each other. It's simple, right then and there. That's enough to get you, drawn in. My buddy's done really well. Logan Paul's done really well. Oh, let's see these guys go at it. Let's see them go at it. That's enough for me. That's really what it is. And then you throw in the fact that Logan Paul's one of the most hated people in the world, and Bad Bunny's one of the most loved. Then it's just like, all right, now we got a clear good guy and a clear bad guy. And then, like I said, to just throw the cherry on top of the cake, like is a cherry needed on top of the cake? No, but hell, some people like it better. You throw Stone Cold in there, it's just like, I gotta see this match. Like that's all you. That I think it just writes itself. Like, Zach's a pure wrestling fan who's been watching since a child, like very young, longer than I've been watching wrestling, and I've been watching wrestling for a long time. Zach grew up and so like I get it, and also like I also agree with him. I don't care about Logan Paul and or Jake Paul. And to be honest with you, I like Bad Bunny's music like that, but I really don't care about Bad Bunny either. Really, to be honest with you.
And it's not that I have a problem with like celebrities or anything. Like I like when they do stuff with celebrities, have matches and stuff. That's just those two together, for me at least, isn't like one that I care to see. Like I was excited to see the Johnny Knoxville match this past WrestleMania because I love Jackass, or like I was excited to see, Stephen Amell wrestle his little period when he had that because I like his shows. Like, but those two just aren't for me, but I'm not the demographic that they're probably working on.
No, they're actually looking to target people that are almost the exact opposite of you.
Exactly.
Right.
Non-wrestling fans. And like for some reason, like these are the two people you're going to get to draw in the crowds.
This is the biggest celebrity draw of all time. These are
Like,
two of the biggest hot button people in the entire world. And anybody who thinks Logan Paul calling out Bad Bunny for tax evasion is not a work, it doesn't know wrestling. Sorry.
exactly.
Like, because it clearly is. Why the hell would he ever do that in a million fucking years? Go after Bad Bunny, other than the fact that they've both been in WWE, and now Logan Paul exclusively signed a deal for not exclusively, but mostly premium live events, and to build up hype. He's not an idiot. He knows if he builds up hype now for a match that's going to happen in April, there's only more money to be made on it. He's not an idiot.
Not only that, Triple H just had a meeting with Bad Bunny, so it's just like,
yes, he did.
Like you said, of all people, why would he call out Bad Bunny? What are the coincidences that he called out Bad Bunny? And also, like you said, Amy, who doesn't watch wrestling, will sit there if will only watch wrestling if I'm over there at your house, I'm assuming, watching it, and then still doesn't really watch it. Comes in your room and talks about how Logan Paul called out Bad Bunny. Like now, all of a sudden,
she took it a step further. Okay, so this is going to drive home the point. She said, you need to tell me if Bad Bunny ever wrestles Logan Paul because I need to watch that happen. And I said, well, it might happen at WrestleMania. Why? What did you hear? And she started telling me about it because I didn't hear about it until she told me. And I was like, oh my God, we're definitely getting this at WrestleMania. Someone that barely knows anything or cares about wrestling just said they wanted to see Bad Bunny and Logan Paul wrestle.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, you would get more eyes on the product than ever. I mean, this would be a year to take, like, no disrespect, but like, this would be a year. If you put that match, I'm going to just put you put Stone Cold in that match, you put Roman versus The Rock, this would be a year to take the WWE pay-per-view off the network and make people buy the pay-per-views because they would buy it. They would buy it. You would draw so much more revenue because people would just buy it. They would buy the pay-per-view just to watch it.
The magnitude of this event, if that happens, would be bigger than the magnitude of WrestleMania 3 as far as global impact.
Not to mention, if you turn around and then have Bad Bunny do a concert the next day.
Oh, 100%. Like, yeah, have to.
People are going crazy over Bad Bunny concert tickets. So now imagine you get to watch one live. Like, you just go watch it. You can just watch it. They're like, he's huge right now. The dude's huge. And so, like, you have him do a concert and it's all over. It's all over. Like, it is what it is. I'm excited. Zach and I are going to be there. We're going to be there. Zach's buying himself a special pair of sunglasses for the show because that's what you do in LA, as he says. You get sunglasses.
Well, we got
Yeah,
hats in
that's smart.
Texas. He's gonna get sunglasses in LA. We got to think of the article of clothing we have to get for Philly. It's gonna be April. It's gonna be chilly. We gotta do something.
I mean, hoodie.
I'll
I
pull
mean,
it
we're
off.
gonna
I'm
do.
sure. I'm
Zach,
something off.
Zach's attire is naturally prepared for winter settings. He wears jeans and hoodies in the summertime sometimes.
I'm a black on black on black.
Yeah.
I'm LA.
When you wore that red shirt at WrestleMania this year, I was like, oh, you're mixing it up a little bit.
Knoxville brought him out of his shell. That's what happened.
Oh yeah, and that red shirt is long gone. We got rid of that the next day. So
Well, yeah, what was the food poisoning? It tampered with your mind and your perception of things. You're like, I'm going red.
That poor
everything was
man.
red to me.
You poor man. That Sunday was.
You know,
I didn't think you were gonna make it.
If the podcast is still running strong in April, we might have to run you might have to have a vlog running from Graham and Chiera over here. Teddy and Zach might have to have a vlog series of our adventures in LA because we're going to be there 4 nights and we're going to WrestleMania Access. We're going to do a WB tour. We're going to go to the Hollywood Walk of Fame and then WrestleMania, baby.
Yeah, no, I need all the content from that. So make sure you film shit.
Zach, hit us with the truth. Zach does a great.
Oh, WrestleMania.
Gang, gang. As Zach likes to say. No, yes, we are very excited, and
I think that's a good spot to wrap up. We're about an
Yeah.
hour and a half right now. That was a great conversation, guys. Listen, if you like talking wrestling, you like hanging out, make sure you hang out with the Hot Tag Podcast. I'm figuring out some stuff on YouTube. Go look out the Hot Tag Podcast on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. This episode, along with last week's episode and maybe a couple before that, will be uploaded as soon as possible. I'm dealing with some technical difficulties with YouTube right now. Hopefully going to get that up today, tomorrow. But we appreciate you guys' support as always. And as always, see you next time. Have a great week. Peace out.